Carvillion advanced through the gloom. Muzzle flare strobed, enough to dazzle and disorientate lesser combatants. Carvillion was untroubled, his superior senses compensating in a manner that not even Adeptes Astartes' combat helm could not have. Xenocultists spilled from tunnels and burst through sundered membranes in shrieking masses. They were less than nothing to him. Carvillion whipped his blade through the air to knock aside bullets. He wove away from the beams of their lasers, then lunged among them like a predatory beast. His blade licked out again, and each time it took another head or limb, spilled another mess of purple entrails, spitted another abomination. They wielded daggers, gun butts, the tools of archaeominers and gang militer, and sought to bear him down under the weight of numbers. The steps of the Hyrcanus fighting style were as natural to him as breathing. With it, he led them to stumble over one another and obstruct each other's blows, while he moved through their midst like a bladed cyclone. Ichor drenched the walls and floor, his enemies disintegrated beneath his fury as though they had been fed into an industrial thresher. He barely noticed them. The blade champion knew his prey, and these dregs were not it. As the confusion of battle raged, Carvillion drove deeper and deeper into the enemy's lair. Like a blade sliding between an enemy's ribs, he sought the heart. Warnings chimed with idiot insistence. The Patriarch was here. The device's machine spirit wailed that the beast was right on top of their position. "So why can I not see you?" Carvillion thought. His mind whirred through possibilities: equipment failure, the enemy projecting false readings, the Patriarch slinking through some hidden space, seeking to turn him from hunter to prey. The last felt right, yet even in that case what could he do but press forward and trigger the monster's ambush? Only by drawing it out into the open could he give the Witch-Seekers the chance to suppress its witchery, the Alaris Terminators the clear shot to batter it to its knees with the concussion grenades. It was not enough to slay the enemy. The Patriarch had to be taken alive. Anything else was failure. And the Adeptes Custodes do not fail. Carvillion emerged into a cavernous space. Phosphor torches spluttered to either side of an outsized throne, fashioned from biological remains and rubble. It rose like an island amidst a pool of bioluminescent ichor, within which diminutive grotesques splashed and shrieked at him. The three-armed warrior came at Carvillion from the side. It swung its chitinous blade in a beheading stroke. The custodian met the attack with a parry that knocked his enemy's weapon aside and gave Carvillion a split second to pivot away and find a clear space. Not giving his opponent time to gather itself, he launched an attack of his own, slipping into the steps of the Hyrcanus stance as he rained blows down upon his enemy's guard. The Xenocultist gave ground, hissing. Its pistol sang. A salvo of poisoned needles rattled from Carvillion's breastplate. He ignored the shots, instead flicking his enemy's blade aside, then pivoting inside its guard to drive his elbow into its face. Chitin broke. Fangs shattered. Purple ichor splashed his arm to the shoulder. His enemy reeled back, one unburst eye still glaring hatred. Carvillion swung his blade up to deliver the killing stroke. Metal tore above him. Chitinous material splintered as a huge, six-limbed shape burst through the ceiling to drop upon the blade champion. The Patriarch struck with such swiftness that not even Carvillion could dive aside. It hit him with tremendous force, one set of talons raking his breastplate as another punched through his pauldron and deep into his shoulder. Pain exploded through him. The Patriarch's weight bore him to the ground. Its alien stink was thick in his nostrils, its shriek a cacophony both of sound and psychic fury, intended to render him witless. Carvillian resisted, rolling as he hit the ground and tearing his claws from his shoulder. He kicked hard, propelling the abomination up and over him. The Patriarch landed in a predatory crouch, snarling at him as it prepared to attack again. To his rear, the three-armed warrior spun his blade, seemingly no worse for its mangled face, and closed in. Carvillian raised his blade and allowed himself a humorless smile. "Talons of the Emperor, prey sighted," he foxed. "I have it where I want it. Move to support. Let us finish this."